Okay, you have your NFL Week 3 predictions. I can't believe it's already Week 3, and I'm filming this after the morning game, so I don't know all the results yet. So your first game, the Cleveland versus the Steelers. Steelers lost to the Patriots, and the Browns lost to the Jets. Um, Very different games. The Patriots Steelers was a slugfest defense. Steelers defense is still very good, but couldn't hold their own. And then the Browns, they allowed the Jets to get back in. Their defense kind of failed them. Their offense looked good. Nick Chubb looked good. And it's a Thursday night in Cleveland home field advantage, so I'm gonna take them. Then you have Titans versus um, Raiders. Titans play on Monday night, and Raiders play in the afternoon. And I'm judging this based off week one. But the Raiders, the offense, Devontae Adams looked very good. Derek Carr, he did not look good against the Chargers, but he should bounce back. And the Titans, they look terrible. They did not look good against the Giants. Their defense couldn't stop Saquon, and their offense, Derek Henry couldn't get going. Titans do have home field advantage here, so I think this is going to be a close game. But I think the Raiders' offensive firepower is going to be too much for the Titans, so I'm going to take them. Then you have the Patriots versus the Ravens. Um, Patriots slugfest over Steelers. Their defense is still pretty good. Their offense, not so much. The Ravens, though, their offense, Lamar Jackson was great versus Miami. They should have won that game, except they choked. Their defense sold in like the fourth quarter, but were playing pretty good for the most part. I think Ravens, they're just a very solid team right now. I'm gonna take the Ravens. Then you have the Jets versus the Bengals. Bengals are currently behind versus the Cowboys, and the Jets, they beat the Browns in a very good fashion. Flacco had 4 touchdowns, and 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 the Jets are just looking very, very good right now. Their defense didn't really do great, but they did slow them down. And and the Jets, they have home field advantage. The Bengals, they don't look great right now, but they do have talent. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. I'm going to take the Jets. Then you have the Chiefs versus the Colts. The Chiefs, they played on Thursday night. Wasn't the greatest game by Mahomes, but it wasn't bad defense. They managed to slow down the Chargers in the second half. The Colts, they just got shut out by the Jacksonville shutout. How well? Oh, your team played bad if you get shut out. And they lost 24-0 against Jacksonville. And the Colts, they don't look good right now. Jonathan Taylor was bad against the Jaguars. I know they always lose against them, but they looked really bad. I'll take the Chiefs. You have the Dolphins versus the Bills. Dolphins, a comeback versus the Ravens, and the Bills play on Monday night. And Dolphins will come back against the Ravens. They're behind 21 points, and they came back. And Tua looked great. Their defense, they made second half adjustment and only allowed 10 points to the Ravens after allowing 28 in the first half. And so the defense, they made adjustments for once. While the Bills, judging this based off the first game, looked every bit like a Super Bowl contender. And I think this is going to be a good game. The Bills have a good pass rush and overall defense and very well rounded. While the Dolphins, they're like a wild card in this one. They have potential to win. It's going to be close. I think Miami wins because of the home field advantage. You have the Chargers versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they shut out Indianapolis. It was just a very bad, very good game for the Jags, very bad game for the Colts. The Chargers, they lost against the Chiefs. I'm not sure. If Justin Herbert's not playing, I think Jacksonville have a chance. But if Justin Herbert's playing, I think even if he's slightly injured, he's still through that dot. And the Chargers are so stacked up both defense and home field advantage, so I'm taking them. Then you have the Bears versus the Texans. Bears play on Sunday night. Texans, um, I'm not sure when they play. They play later today. And Texans, um, coming off a tie against the Colts, not the greatest game, but it did show some potential. While the Bears defense, I think, is going to be more or less off the home field advantage. So I think we'll win them this game. So I'm going to take the Bears. Then you have the Broncos versus the Niners. You have Russ versus the Niners. Niners um, currently play against Seattle, and Broncos play against the Texans. So I haven't really seen them yet, but I think Broncos have home field advantage, and they're both evenly matched in terms of talent. The Broncos. Then you have the Vikings versus the Lions. Um, Vikings, Vikings, they had a very good week 1. They're playing against the Eagles on Monday night. Detroit had a dominating game against football team. It's a divisional game, so hard to predict. And talent-wise, it's Vikings, but the lines are always a pain in the ass, so I'm gonna take the Vikings because of home field advantage. Then you have Commanders versus the Eagles. Commanders played very bad. Did not play good in the first half versus the Lions. They did get better in the second half and almost came back. Eagles play on Monday night, but on week 1, the offense played great. The defense not so much. The divisional game, like I said, hard to predict, but I think this one's going to be a revenge game for Wentz, so I'm going to take the Commanders. Then you have the Panthers versus the Saints. Defensive game versus the Bucks, and the Panthers coming off a narrow loss against the Giants. And Panthers, their defense played well, their offense not so much. The Saints, it was just a defensive game. This one's going to be close, and I'm going to take the Saints here. And you have the Falcons versus the Seahawks. Seahawks play against the Niners. Falcons play against the Rams. Both bottom feeders, but they both won in week 1, and they both look good doing it. And Seahawks, and this one's talent-wise, they're even. I trust Pete Carroll more and Geno Smith more, and they have home field advantage. So I'm gonna take the Seahawks. Then you have Rams versus the Cardinals. Cardinals play against the Raiders. Rams play against the Falcons, and Rams historically they just do well against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals defense did not look good against the Chiefs. And the Rams have a very high-powered offense. I'm gonna take the Rams. And you have the Bucks versus the Packers. Okay, this one's gonna be a very good game on Sunday night, I think. Packers play on Sunday night. Bucks coming off a defensive win against the Saints, and the Bucks have a very, very good defense, and the Packers offense getting a bunch of new young wide receivers. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna struggle. But the Bucks offense has not looked good in their 2 games. They couldn't move the ball against the Saints, and they couldn't score touchdowns against Dallas. So I think this one's gonna be a defensive game, but Bucks have home field advantage, so I'm gonna take them. Then you have the Giants versus the Cowboys. Giants coming off another win versus the Panthers, and the Cowboys playing against the Cowboys are starting Cooper Rush, and Giants. I think they're gonna go through and take the Giants. We have NFL Week 3 predictions.